The Cleveland Browns got busy. GM Andrew Berry was making moves left and right, and you are seeing a much different roster than the one you had last year. It feels like a lot of the big players are back. You still got Nick Chubb, you still have Deshaun Watson, you still have Donovan Peoples-Jones. I mean, I could keep going on those. That's just on the offensive side, but there was a ton of new people that were brought in. On the defensive line, this is an article that was Dogs by Nature. It kind of has it all in one spot. So I'm going to read some of it for you guys. That was so good. But Delvin Tomlinson was brought in. Tristan Hill, Mo Hurst was brought in and signed. You drafted Siaki Ika out of the third round from Baylor. Michael Dwumfor was brought in. Apparently, like ex-Michigan guys. I'm just saying. Defensive ends were brought in, including Okoronkwo. Ogbahnia Okoronkwo, undrafted free agent Lonnie Phelps, fourth round rookie Isaiah McGuire, and Zadarius Smith. That's the big defensive end one. At linebacker, free agent rookie Mohamed Diabate. Matthew Adams got brought in. In the secondary, multiple safeties, Juan Thornhill, Rodney McLeod. I don't know. I never know how to say that name. No matter how many times you give it to me, I'm never going to know how to say it. Ronnie Hickman. Cornerbacks, you got Caleb Biggers, Cam Mitchell. Like, look, there's a lot of people that are coming in. Got a couple of rookie offensive linemen out of Ohio State, and DeJuan Jones and Luke Weipler. There were so many people brought in. So what they were able to do is and we're just going to pop through these names. What was the best off-season addition? So we're going to go through what these guys thought, give you a quick little synopsis of it, and then I'm going to give you my top one, maybe my top two. All right. And we're going to go through it. So the first one was Jake Amstel, and he said wide receiver Elijah Moore. This seems like the easy answer, right? This is the answer of people that are close in the organization are going to say, but this is also the answer that people outside the organization are going to say. I think he brings, and I agree with Amstel, he brings unique speed, will be the best best fit in several roles. Watson's ability to scramble and keep the play alive will allow Moore to use the speed and improvise to get open. I think this could be a very clear thing where change of scenery and the guy gets to play well. At least I hope so. I think if Donovan Peoples-Jones was able to produce, Elijah Moore has all that talent and then some to be able to do it as well. There's no reason to think he's not going to have a better year than he did his first 2 years when he was in New York with the Jets. The next one is safety Juan Thornhill. He comes in, and Easy Weave is basically making the argument in this one that Thornhill comes in and he is a veteran type safety, but that fits the scheme. There's going to be a lot of single high safety that's being played in Cleveland this year, new DC, all that kind of stuff. This fits it just fits the scheme. And you need someone who is just consistently going to be in the right position. Browns fans, safeties were not in the right position all too often last year. So Juan Thornhill is the one that is going to be in the right position, played on a very good defense in Kansas City, which is weird to say, but he played in a very solid defense in Kansas City. The next one is your rookie defensive tackle, Siaki Ika. He said he's going to go out on a limb here. I don't think saying a third round defensive tackle that is a massive human is going out on a limb. We've seen it in Detroit. Aleem McNeil has become a good player for us. All of us said, like, nope, he's there. We know, he was the dancing bear. We get it. This makes sense. It just makes sense. He's a guy who can stop the run, and guys who are this big, who are this strong, can come in and just fill a need. And the Browns have a need for a big run stopper in the middle of that defense. And Delvin Tomlinson, that is solid pickup. But when you look at Dwumfor and Mo Hurst, these guys aren't necessarily big run stoppers. They're more, can I get to the passer type of guys? So I think this does fill a really big need. I'm not sure if that's the argument he made. That's just the argument that I'm making for it. And then you have Cedric Tillman. This is a rookie wide receiver out of Tennessee. And I think here's what you need to know about Cedric Tillman. everybody thinks, oh, it's the guy who's the number 2 receiver on Tennessee behind Jalen Hyatt. Here's what you need to know. There were injuries last year, but when he was healthy in 2021, he was really, really good. Sure, you don't see him running wide open deep and stuff like that, but he can be an absolute outside wide receiver, and he showed up for the big games. The best 2 teams Tennessee played in 2021 were Bama and Georgia, and Tillman torched them both. All right. He against Bama, it was 7 catches for 152 yards and 2 touchdowns. And against Georgia, he rung up 200. So it's not like he's just beating up on these small little teams on the side. Like he was beating and playing and bettering the best of the opponents. He's 6'3, he's 215 pounds. This can be a big deal, a true number 1. And then I believe the last person in this list, I think it's the last, we'll see, is Okoronkwo, who we talked about earlier. It's no secret Cleveland fans have been panting for another prolific pass rusher with that dog in them. Yeah, you gotta love when you use the word dog everywhere. That's one thing I've been loving about the Cleveland media is their ability to put the word dog, D-A-W-G, everywhere. I think that's fantastic. And he's thinking that Okoronkwo could be that guy. Fresh off earning a late bloomer starting spot on the Houston Texan, he brings solid skills to the Cleveland Browns. I get that. It makes sense to me. We'll see what he ends up being. He was the 3rd highest pressure rate in 2022 amongst all defenders with 200 plus rushers. That's solid. And then, there is one more. Sorry. Zadarius Smith. This is a guy that, he's just good. He's just go. He's good. And he's been good where he's been. He was good in Minnesota. He was good in Green Bay. He just flat out plays well. So the question you have to ask yourself, there he is sacking one of my Lions. All right. So the question you have to ask yourself is who is going to be the guy? I'm going to give you a slight cop-out answer here, and I'm going to say either Elijah Moore or Tillman on the offensive side, because I don't know if there's enough room for both wide receivers to go off. And I'm not sure which one it'll be, but I would lean toward Moore because I think Tillman is going to have to prove that he can get beyond Peoples-Jones in the depth chart. So I think Tillman will start as the 3rd outside receiver, and Elijah Moore is day 1 slot receiver. So I'm going to go Elijah Moore. So it's not a cop-out answer. I came around. It is Elijah Moore on defense or on offense. And then on the defensive side, I'm going with the safe pick. I'm going with Zadarius Smith. I think he has enough left in the tank. To get things done. And he has just been a prolific player, and I don't see why he would stop doing that now that he's in Cleveland. So a lot of new talent, a lot of stuff added, a lot of things to be excited about. We know, we love you Browns fans, the dog pound. I know you guys. I love you. I get it. We've been through a lot of similar circumstances in our 2 franchises' histories with the Lions and the Browns. I understand it. Hopium can be at an all-time high at this time of year. And quite frankly, it should be. If Deshaun Watson is a resemblance of himself of what he was in Houston, things are looking really good for the Cleveland Browns. All right, let me know what you think. Hit a comment below. Is there a player that wasn't listed in this that you think should get some love? Be nice with it, and do agree with who I think is going to be your breakout players. All right, thanks for watching. Hopefully, see you on the next one. Hit that subscribe button. Do it. See ya.